Hi, folks, and welcome to a special edition of LGBTQ Rants. On this very historical day where America will swear in its 46th president, Joe R. Biden, and the LGBTQ community in the United States and possibly around the world can breathe a huge sigh of relief. Because, well, ding dong, the witch is dead, the witch is dead, the witch is dead, ding dong, the witch, yes, Trump's gone, and Biden's in, so let's party.
Yeah,
So
see, I've been on too many, of the more cynical left-wing stuff, so, that has caused me to have less enthusiasm than I should have, because obviously this is a good thing, comparatively.
Yeah. Okay. So let's watch the C-SPAN feed, and Christy's going to lead the way with the commentary because, well, this is her bag.
I mean, I live in.
Of office, little girls and boys across the world will know that
anything, I live in Minnesota.
Everything is possible. And in the end, that is America, our democracy, a country of so much good. And
no,
today,
this is not America. Sha-la-la-la-la.
This is America! Fuck yeah!
Fuck yeah!
Dedicate ourselves to its cause. Thank you.
Fuck, the last thing I remember about Amy Klobuchar was when she was doing the election, there was
to introduce to you the senator who has
worked
with me and
something bad. I can't.
This should be Roy Blunt of Missouri.
My friend and the chair of the inaugural committee, Missouri Senator Roy Blunt.
Okay.
Good old social distancing.
Yeah. Roy Blunt was one
Although
of the.
Less so for the military personnel.
So is this dude
Roy Blunt of Missouri? He's a long time senator. He's
be a touch of snow up here this morning.
Incredibly far right.
All the things we'd considered, I don't think snow was
so
on
the
my
fuck's
agenda. I walked out the door.
He's the chair.
So, thank you, Senator Klobuchar.
See the thing? He's the chairman of the inauguration committee. That's what I was saying before we went on the air. So you got everybody straight.
Inaugural ceremony.
But the thing is, historically, regardless
if your
party loses, they go through with inauguration. What Trump did is
1981 description
ridiculously uncommon and
well,
awful.
this is the first inauguration that Jimmy Carter is missing since
miraculous.
Well, since he was president.
Every 4 years.
Since he was inaugurated.
Yeah, well, he's almost 100.
Americans have celebrated.
Yeah, it was a question of just not being able to travel.
And now, during pandemic, once again, all three branches of our government come together
Pence
as
the
the
Constitution
envisions.
his God would not like
once
him
again,
at a woman.
we renew our commitment to
She's
our
there too.
democracy.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said
a more perfect union.
I saw him.
That theme for this inauguration, our determined democracy, forging a more perfect union, was announced by the Joint Committee before the election, with the belief that the United States can only fulfill its promise and set an example for others if we are always working to be better than we have been. The Constitution established that determined democracy.
We definitely haven't been working too hard to be better than we've been recently.
The Articles of Confederation hadn't done that. The Magna Carta hadn't done that. Only the Constitution says the government exists because the people are the source of the reason it exists. They immediately followed those first three words with the words to form a more perfect union. The founders did not say to form a perfect union. They did not claim that in our new country nothing would need to be improved. Fortunately, they understood that always working to be better would be the hallmark of a great democracy. The freedoms we have today.
I mean, this is a good speech.
We have today.
I'll be honest, it's well written.
Is not here just because it happened, and they aren't complete. A great democracy working through the successes and failures of our history, striving to be better than it had been. And we are more than we have been, and we are less than we hope to be. The assault on our Capitol at this very place just 2 weeks ago reminds us
talk
that
about
a
assault on the
government
Capitol. Did
designed
you
to
see who they had a
balance
shot
and
off?
check itself
Yes, I did.
fragile
Ted Cruz.
and resilient. During the
One of
last
those
year,
who
the pandemic
fucking
challenged our
cursed it.
free and open society and called for extraordinary determination and
Oh,
sacrifice,
look, it's
and
W.
still challenges us today. Meeting that challenge
Yeah,
head
Mike
on
Pence, don't
has
look at another
been
one.
and
God wouldn't
are
like it.
healthcare
Stop
workers,
it.
scientists, first responders,
I mean,
essential
Mike Pence can't help it
so many
that he
others
looks
depend
like
on in so many
one of the
ways.
Nazis from the Indiana Jones
Today we
movies.
come to
Like,
this moment,
He died.
people
He
all over the
died.
world,
That's a
as
good
we're here,
one.
are watching and will watch what we do here. Our government comes together. The Congress and the courts join the transition
Yeah,
of
that's
executive
correct.
responsibility. One political party more pleased today and on every inaugural day than the other. But this is not a moment of division, it's a moment of unification. A new administration begins and
by the
brings
way,
with
I,
it a new
I
beginning.
checked InfoWars,
And with
right?
that,
the
our
headline,
great national debate goes forward.
Joe Biden's
and a
inauguration,
determined
America's
democracy
funeral. So I
will
take it that
continue
Alex
to be
Jones isn't
essential
entirely happy today.
in pursuit of a more perfect union and a
Yeah.
better
Did you,
America.
anybody happen to catch the speech by the reflecting pool?
Thank you.
No, but there's another story on InfoWars.
I'm pleased to call
It said
to the
that,
podium a longtime
it's-
friend of
it's
the
actually-
president
it's
elect
actually
and his
correct,
family, Father Leo
was.
O'Donovan.
Because the headline
lead
was,
us
it
in
said,
an invocation.
leftists want
Please
to
stand if you are able and
deprogram
remain
Trump
standing for the
cultists.
national anthem.
Yeah, we
and the
do.
pledge to our flag.
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I can tell that they are at the very least putting in the work.
Yeah.
For to make sure the place is clean for
Gracious and merciful God, at this sacred time we come before you indeed.
it's not
Indeed.
a sacred time. America was never a theocracy.
So the guy
The vision
so the guy who led the rioters away from the Senate chamber,
our
by taunting them and
general welfare and secure the
Oh,
liberty
did
to
you hear
ourselves.
the Capitol police officer. Can I finish the sentence?
Here are people
Um,
of many races, creeds,
He is acting
national backgrounds,
deputy
cultures, and styles.
sergeant at arms of the Senate. He's likely to get the Senate sergeant of arms job
And when
now.
Archbishop John Carroll wrote his
He's
prayer,
also likely to get the
inauguration of
Medal
George
of Freedom.
Washington,
Yeah.
252
Yeah, he's at the
years
ceremony.
ago.
Eugene,
Archbishop
Goodman.
Carroll prayed that
I forgot what
you,
his surname's
the
out.
creator of all, would assist with your Holy Spirit of counsel and fortitude the President
So,
of these United States.
Joe
That
Biden
his administration
is
may
only
be
the second
conducted in
Catholic,
righteousness and
president
be
after
eminently useful
JFK.
to your people.
Sorry, what was that?
Confess
I didn't
our
catch it through.
faculty
It
to live
it sounded
according
like
I
to
said
mumbles.
Biden is only
of
the
equality,
second
inclusion,
Catholic
and
president
freedom for all.
Oh,
since
Yet
JFK.
we
In fact,
resolutely
he went to
commit
mass
still
at
more now to
the
renewing the
church where they
vision,
held JFK's
to
funeral.
caring for one another in word
oh,
and deed,
yeah.
especially the least fortunate among
Although,
us,
yeah.
and so becoming a light for the world.
So
There
many
is a power
speeches.
in each and every one of us that lives by turning to every other one of us. But trust,
John Roberts is a Catholic.
cherish, and care and stand by
Right?
others
This I don't like.
above all those
Well,
most
no,
in
I
need.
mean, I'm not religious either.
It is called love, and its path is to give
Yeah,
at
I'm not
more of itself.
like. I don't think there should be.
Today it is called American patriotism. born not of power
America!
but of
Fuck
care
yeah!
for the common good.
Sorry, every time anyone says America, I'm doing that.
Malice toward none.
No.
Charity for all.
I mean, it's gonna get
Oh,
old.
look, everybody's got a certificate for a new car.
Solomon sought understanding heart, so that I can govern your people and know the difference between
Goddamn.
right and wrong.
Puppets are so fucking slow in
In
that.
the counsel of the letter of James, if any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault.
Oh,
God
yeah.
gives generously to
Will be
all.
given
Tell
to
poor
you.
people that.
Pope
Well,
Francis
look,
Wisdom.
treated us
I mean,
The phrase is wisdom. God, if they're seeking after wisdom.
we
but I
rest
mean also,
things
the
that are not there.
the
on the other hand,
indoctrination of
together.
various church organizations into capitalism was like a 30s thing.
Dream
Before that,
Help us
religion
in
was,
our-
Christianity was
reconcile the people
very
of our land,
socialist,
restore our
at the very
dream
least
of
in some
justice with
aspects of
peace
things.
and justice
Although, obviously, leaders were always like,
of love. The glory of your name forever.
well,
Amen.
greedy cunts. Wait, I shouldn't say that word. I'm American. Thanks a lot, Sophia. You got me, like, saying the C word.
Still haven't gotten me yet.
Oh,
I know you're working. I know you're working on it.
Yeah. It was my New Year's resolution this year.
Ladies and gentlemen,
For the end of 2021
the
to get
presentation
Christy
of
to
our
say,
national
"Come."
colors by the Armed Forces Color Guard, the singing of our national anthem, and for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Go on, you two. You got to stand up. Put your fist on your heart. Come on, stand up.
No, I'm
This
gonna
is
do it down.
America.
I'll be right back. I'm getting coffee.
You insulted America.
I do not.
Yeah,
I'm one of,
but Christy, if you stand up now, you'll be standing during the Pledge of Allegiance, so effectively
No.
you'll be doing the same thing.
the color guard, which is not the same thing. But remind me to tell you sometime my history with the pledge, which is not pretty.
Well, I know the original. For those who don't know, the original. You wouldn't put your hand on your heart. Originally, with the Pledge of Allegiance, it's the Roman salute.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's, yeah, they changed that in the 50s or 60s, I think.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah, a little bit
of our
before that.
national anthem, accompanied by the President's own United States Marine Band, please welcome Lady Gaga.
Okay, I'll be back.
Is she going to sing the national anthem? Oh, that's
Yes.
very good.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, it's...
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, it's just... It's so easy to be so jaded after hearing so much excessive praise throughout your life about America. That's just like, yeah, this is a good thing, I suppose. But yeah, also fuck the standing for the pledge. I'm not one to do that. Is that golden microphone?
Come on, Alex, stand up.
No.
Hand on the heart.
No.
You're insulting America.
I'm not gonna do that because I don't believe in the pledge.
What,
As
you
a
like
concept.
apple pie? Huh? A baseball?
Actually, I'm not a fan of apple
It's
pie or
American.
baseball. I prefer basketball and pumpkin pie. Thank you very much. The correct pie and the correct sport.
We're so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare.
Can't read my.
Sorry, I was just thinking about.
Can't read my poker face.
Oh, I was just thinking about the making fun of the can't remember. I think Epic Rap Battles or whatever made fun of the statue because George Washington's monument is essentially a giant dick.
Yes.
Breathe on the whole place.
Hey, Perfict.
Look,
You're
man,
right.
I know more words.
You
to
managed to get
your
here.
national anthem than you do.
No,
I know.
Maybe I'm secretly an American, you know.
I know the national anthem by heart. I just don't like.
I know
care
I know all 4 verses. I was a Boy Scout. Remember?
Hold on a moment. Sorry, I don't want. Not the show. Reset.
What just happened?
Hey, Perfect though. Perfect.
Hello.
Howdy. How's it going?
Perfect.
Y'all are not hearing me.
Yeah.
No, we're hearing you. Oh, it's going okay. It's a slow news day.
Yeah, nothing happening today.
Nothing happening.
I was watching when the president
there's some old bloke becoming president of your country. He's better than the other old bloke who
I pledge allegiance.
Well, who was a fascist.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation.
I mean,
yeah, that may not be the high compliment you think it is. Not being fascist is sort of a low bar.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. But that said, I genuinely
do you realise that probably MAGA right this moment, right, still going, yeah, Trump's got something up his sleeve. He'll still manage to retain power.
But you are all about
what was I gonna say?
part of America is.
He's still going to be in charge of the Republican Party. They're saying that. They are saying
no, he's going to set up his own Patriot Party.
Our first Asian American.
It's kind of ironic because there was a Patriot Party back in the 50s.
Kamala Harris.
And it was socialist.
Is my great privilege to welcome to the inaugural.
But yeah,
I'd take over the American Nazi Party because it's still going.
Of the United States of America.
It'd be appropriate.
Justice Sonia Sotomayor.
But yeah, I do like the sign language.
Yeah,
it is nice. I really need to double down on trying to learn sign language because it's useful for the person speaking to also do sign language for public speeches.
After me.
Okay, but that can be like wicked hard.
I mean,
hey.
Yeah, I mean that's why I appreciate it.
It's not the same language. It's not a one-to-one translation. So it's like talking in 2 languages at once.
Your vice president has been sworn in, you know. Oh. Can't barely hear her. I bet Alex says I'm going to something like, swear she could hear her or something.
That I take this obligation freely.
Without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
Without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
That I will well and faithfully discharge.
That I will well and faithfully discharge.
The duties of the office on which I am about to enter.
The duties of the office upon which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
History has just been made, folks.
Yep.
The first female vice president. And who knows, in a few years, maybe your first female president.
Very likely.
That depends on our ability to change a significantly more of culture and to stop. There's a lot of old people that need to die off of old age.
Don't look at her, Mike. Don't look at her. God won't like it.
Okay.
Gentlemen, please.
You can't keep repeating that joke. It's funny a couple of times.
You're an atheist.
But there's also the principle that it's funny, then stops being funny, and then as you continue to repeat it, it becomes funny again, and then it becomes unbearably awful, and then it starts to become funny again. It's a cycle. It just goes back and forth.
Jennifer Lopez must be freezing her tits off in that outfit.
That's layered to
So you've been taking cues from Seth MacFarlane, right?
Oh yeah.
Wait, what is the temperature in Washington D.C. right now?
Probably warmer than it is in Minnesota.
30 degrees, I think.
What's that in proper money?
Okay, where they're at, it's over 40 degrees.
So I don't know what
so it's warm.
Why can't you guys get with the metric system? That's something we need to get Biden to
Okay, it's 6 degrees Celsius. There, you happy?
We have the F after it. It's freedom unit.
To the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters.
Yep, they want to sing all 3 of the American songs about America for.
Well, at least it's Woody Guthrie, you know.
That's true.
Yeah. Got to do something from John Denver too. It's going to be coming up.
Oh, I didn't look at the schedule.
Country Rose!
Oh, I didn't look at the schedule either. I was just making a prediction.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think I've actually watched an inauguration.
Do you know what was written on
you were prognosticating.
This is appropriate. Do you know what was written on Woody Guthrie's guitar?
This machine kills fascists, yes.
Yeah.
And on Pete Seeger's, it's this machine surrounds fascists and fills them with love until they give up, or something similar.
Fuck yeah! Sorry, every time I was American today.
I know, like, you can't stop.
No, it was Trump who was singing the John Denver, leaving on a jet plane.
Yeah.
God.
Una nación bajo Dios indivisible con libertad y justicia para todos.
Well, that's gonna piss MAGA off. What language was he speaking? We speak English in America. Well, some people speak Spanish, you know.
Well, yeah. Although some of those people who speak Spanish are in camps because they
hopefully for not much longer.
Oh, I don't know how much Biden is going to do anything about.
Well,
the camps.
he's already presenting today his immigration bill to Congress.
Yep. Spanish was my first language. I don't know how many people here know that. I probably said it before.
I might have said it before, but yeah, I didn't know that.
Only about.
Well, that was
I should know French.
Shining, and Mr. President-elect, this is the first inauguration.
I probably wouldn't have recalled it out front, but yeah.
Where Jacob was the warm-up act for Chief Justice Roberts. With that, it is now
do you want to give that in case there's any Hispanics watching? Do you want to give us some Spanish commentary?
John Roberts, to administer the presidential oath to the next president of the United States.
My stepfather was insistent that we never speak another language in the house. My sister did it ASL while they were out together, and he punished her for a week. So that's how I grew up.
Here it comes.
We used to have a Bible that big.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., do solemnly swear.
I, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., do solemnly swear.
That I will faithfully
There are people, a lot of people who have old family Bibles.
the office of President of the United
Yeah, I
States.
suppose that makes sense. Although we had
Seems to be a big fuck off Bible, doesn't it?
we had a really nice Torah
Protect and defend
at one of the synagogues.
the Constitution of the United States.
Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Yeah! Hooray! You no longer have a fascist president.
Nope,
That's
you
true.
still got 10. You still got 10 minutes. So he's president for another 10 minutes.
Oh, is it? All right.
Yep.
Oh,
They've been doing it a little bit early since Bill Clinton showed up late, and Al Gore was
At noon
actually
is
president.
tenure as
Al Gore
president
was actually
expires.
president for almost a half hour. So
Why was Bill busy getting a blowjob?
Because the other president had lapsed and he was already sworn in, and so he was president for like 8 minutes.
a little closer to half an hour because they were he was really late.
Sounds like it was a jolly good session of sex.
All right, here's the moment. Be the man, be the moment.
I mean, clearly Biden is happy about this. Or clearly Biden is having a good time.
You've never watched an inauguration before. I've seen
Yeah,
everyone
same.
since I. No, I have. I've watched everyone
okay.
since I've been alive.
Really?
Yeah.
His facial expression just struck me as constipated, but
Oh
Yeah,
no, he looked like he was hardcore suppressing the joy of his face because like it's an event. Like it'd be hard not to be happy during. Like if you got sworn in as President Perfect, wouldn't you be happy? Perfect? Oh no.
that sounds like a sentence.
What's the hold up?
That sounds like a sentence. It sounds like something you'd be sentenced.
I don't.
President isn't a fun job.
Where's his speech?
No, we have to like wait in silence for 10 minutes until he's officially president.
My fellow Americans, a moment we have all been waiting for.
Yep.
It is now my
And I'm not
great
American.
privilege and high honor to be the first person to officially introduce the 46th President of the United States, Joseph R. Biden, Jr.
He doesn't look happy, does he? Oh, no. Is he gonna do it?
Okay.
Justice Roberts, Vice President Harris, Speaker Pelosi, Leader Schumer, Leader McConnell, Vice President Pence, my distinguished guests, my fellow Americans. This is America's day.
America.
This is democracy's day.
America! Fuck
A day of
yeah!
history and hope, of renewal and resolve. Through a crucible for the ages, America has been tested anew, and America has risen to the challenge. Today, we celebrate the triumph not of a candidate, but of a cause, the cause of democracy. The people, the will of the people has been heard, and the will of the people has been heeded. We've learned again that
I mean, the
democracy
voting
is fragile.
system, it's not like
Democracy is fragile.
super heard.
At this hour, my friends, democracy has prevailed.
Yep. It has.
So now, on this hallowed ground, we're just a few days ago.
Democracy isn't fragile, it's durable.
Foundation.
Yeah, it is relatively durable, unless the CIA get involved.
Indivisible. To carry out the peaceful transfer of power.
Yeah, tell the
as
people
we
of
have
Chile
for
that.
more than 2 centuries.
And I agree.
As we look ahead in our uniquely American way, restless, bold, optimistic, and set our sights on a nation we know we can be and we must be. I thank my predecessors of both parties for their presence here today. I thank them from the bottom of my heart. And I know
I'll be interested to see if he mentions Donald Trump in his
the
speech.
resilience of our Constitution.
Trump in his farewell speech.
And the
He already did. You missed it.
strength of our nation.
Yeah.
As does
Wait,
President
although-
Carter, who I
Wait,
spoke
where
about,
is Trump?
Cannot be with us today, but whom we
He's
salute
not coming.
for his
No, he's
lifetime
in
of service.
Mar-a-Lago, isn't he?
Well, he's at Andrews Air Force Base or
just taken the
Joint
sacred oath.
Base
Oh, he's
Andrews.
there.
Well, actually, I'm pretty sure he's still in the air.
The oath first sworn.
He's in an airplane that's in the air at this time.
But the American
His
story
destination was, as far as I know, not disclosed.
on one of us, not on some of us, but on all of us, on we the people.
So he's in a different country.
Perfect union.
So he went to
No,
Russia.
sorry. I didn't know Florida was another country now.
Over
Is
the
it
centuries, through storm and strife, in peace and in war, we've come so far. But we still have.
We're still trying.
We'll press forward with speed and urgency, for we have much to do in this winter of peril and significant possibilities. Much to repair, much to restore,
I
much
mean,
to
there's
heal,
fuckload
much
to
build,
repair after what Trump did.
gain. Few people in our nation's history have been more challenged or found at times
trying to fix
challenging or difficult.
all the things, the problems, the damage that he's done,
Once in a
the
century,
deregulation on businesses where they're currently taking advantage on the EPA by
America lost
filing plans.
of World War II. Millions of jobs have been lost. Hundreds of thousands of businesses closed. A cry for racial justice, some 400 years in the making, moves us. The dream of justice for all will be deferred no longer. A cry for survival comes from the planet itself. A cry that can't be any more desperate or any more clear. And now, a rise of political extremism, white supremacy, domestic terrorism, that we must confront and we will defeat.
Yes. So I have been warning about for
To overcome
fucking
these challenges,
years, and everyone
to
thought I was
restore the
crazy.
soul and secure the future of America.
Those are
requires
two
so
separate
much more
statements.
than words. Requires the most elusive of all things in a democracy. Unity. Unity. In another January, on New Year's Day in 1863, Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation. When he put pen to paper, the president said, and I quote, "If my name ever goes down into history, it'll be for this act, and my whole soul is in it."
Yeah, his whole soul was also into getting
Day on this
making
January
sure
day,
segregation.
my whole soul is in this, bringing America together,
Yeah.
uniting our people, uniting our nation. And I ask every American to join me in
I know,
this
I can't help but be proud about Lincoln. Because there's so much Lincoln worship.
Uniting to fight the foes we face. Anger, resentment and hatred, extremism, lawlessness, violence, disease, joblessness, and hopelessness. With unity, we can do great things, important things. We can right wrongs. We can put people to work in good jobs. We can teach our children in safe schools. We can overcome the deadly virus. We can reward work and rebuild the middle class and make health care secure for all. We can deliver racial justice, and we can make America once again the leading force for good in the world. I know speaking of unity sounds like a foolish fantasy.
When was America the leading force for good in the world?
The forces that divide us are deep and they are real. But I also know they are not new. Our history has been a constant struggle between the American ideal that we're all created equal and the harsh, ugly reality that racism, nativism, fear, demonization have long torn us apart. The battle is perennial, and victory is never assured. Through Civil War, the Great Depression, World War, 9/11, through struggles, sacrifice, and setbacks, our better angels have always prevailed. In each of these moments, enough of us have come together to carry all of us forward. And we can do that now. History, faith, reason.
I disagree with
show the way.
That we can try to improve things.
We can see each other not as adversaries, but as neighbors. We can treat each other with dignity and respect. We can join forces, stop the shouting, and lower the temperature. For without unity, there is no peace. Only bitterness and fury.
It's 24 degrees. I don't really want to lower the temperature. It's actually kind of nice here.
No nation, only a state of chaos. This is our historic moment of crisis and challenge. And unity is the path forward. And we must meet this moment as the United States of America. If we do that, I guarantee you we will not fail. We have never, ever, ever, ever failed.
I really am.
America.
This unity thing, it rubs me the wrong way.
Together.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's
does it make you want to go and get a gun?
In this place, let's start afresh. All of us. Let's begin to.
But I
listen
mean, like the unity thing, it's very much.
It's
been used.
Respect to one.
You know, if you
to say, do what
I'm
I
all in
want,
favor of being inclusive.
Yeah.
Destroying everything in its path. Every disagreement doesn't have to be a cause for.
Yeah, and I'm all in favor of being inclusive in saying.
Reject the culture in which facts themselves are manipulated and even manufactured.
Taking a slice at fake news, good.
My fellow Americans.
So will the FBI rewriting InfoWars?
America,
if you want to head in the direction we're all headed, you want to take an oar, climb in the boat, grab an oar, we're headed that way. I'll work with you.
He started
I'm
with
just not
that.
interested in compromising with fascists.
Yeah, I mean,
he went there, but someone was talking, so.
Prevail.
Yeah, I mean, he went there. It's just one of those things where the word itself has been used by the Republican Party.
I know, he couched it.
We stand. We're 108 years ago at another inaugural. Thousands of protesters tried to block brave women marching for the right to vote.
They're responsible for the capital right.
Today, we mark the swearing in of the first woman in American history elected to national office, Vice President Kamala Harris. Don't tell me things can't change.
You know, the MAGA cult.
Here we stand.
Put those on trial.
Across the Potomac, Arlington,
well, yeah, I mean, obviously he did mention effectively.
Rest in eternal peace.
Well, that not specifically. He did say that needs to be dealt with now. whether or not the appropriate actions will be taken,
stop the work of our democracy.
I don't know. Obviously, some members of the mega cult
did
have
not
been
happen. It will never happen.
Arrested.
Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. Not ever. To all those who supported our campaign, I'm humbled by the faith you've placed in us. To all those who did not support us, let me say this. Hear me out as we move forward. Take a measure of me and my heart. If you still disagree, so be it. That's democracy. That's America. The right to dissent peaceably within the guardrails of our republic is perhaps this nation's greatest strength. Yet hear me clearly. Disagreement must not lead to disunion. And I pledge this to you. I will be a president for all Americans. All Americans. And I promise you, I will fight as hard for those who did not support me as for those who did.
I know he's talking with the people.
St. Augustine, a saint of my church, wrote that a people was a multitude defined by the common objects of their love. Defined by the common objects of their love. What are the common objects we as Americans love that define us as Americans?
Pizza.
I think we know. Opportunity, security, liberty, dignity,
Pineapple on
respect,
pizza.
honor, and yes,
pizza is amazing.
Pizza definitely falls in there. Yeah.
Recent weeks and months have taught us a painful lesson.
Americans love pizza.
There is truth and there are lies.
American pizza, not Italian pizza, just to be
and
clear.
For profit. And each of us has a duty and a responsibility as citizens, as Americans, and especially as leaders.
Oh, all kinds of pizza.
Leaders who have pledged to honor our Constitution.
Sicilian pizza, Italian pizza, Greek pizza.
Defend the truth and defeat the lies. Look.
Fuck, I really want pizza.
We even eat Domino's pizza.
That many of my fellow Americans.
I mean, yeah, I eat Little Caesars.
I
used to
like
eat Little Caesars pizza a bunch.
Eat Pizza Hut better.
I understand, like my dad, they lay in bed at night, staring at the ceiling, wondering, can I keep my health care?
Oh, that's unforgivable. Little Caesars pizza.
I'm sorry.
We don't get Little Caesars
Oh,
here.
what comes next? I promise you, I
Their
get
pizza's
it.
so cheap.
But the answer is not to turn inward, to retreat into competing factions.
And I have no pizza standards.
Those who don't look like
No, Little Caesars pizza. I'd rather eat the box.
the way you do, or don't get their news from the same sources you do.
Do you know they
We
tried
must
to
end
open
this uncivil war
Chick-fil-A here,
that
and
pits red against blue,
there were so many hours of protests.
rural versus urban, rural versus urban,
Less than 2 weeks.
conservative versus liberal. We can do this.
Yeah, Little Caesars versus Domino's. We can do this. We can unify eating pizza
Show a little tolerance
in this country.
And if
Sorry, I started it.
willing to stand in the other person's shoes, as my mom would say, just for a moment, stand in their shoes. Because here's the thing about life. There's no accounting.
Little Caesars is the idea of taking the food quality of Chuck E. Cheese and leaving out all the game.
The other day, when we're called to lend a hand. That's how it has to be. That's what we do for one another.
The Little Caesars, it's the idea is to, you take the food quality of Chuck E. Cheese and leave out all the games.
Yeah, you said that already.
I still disagree. My fellow Americans.
I was just distracted by the speech.
That's what I said.
Sorry.
We need all our strength to persevere through this dark winter. We're entering what may be the toughest and deadliest period of the virus. We must set aside politics and finally face this pandemic as one nation. One nation. And I promise you this, as the Bible says, weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. We will get through this together.
Wait, what Bible verse is that?
Look, folks.
In Psalms.
Colleagues I serve with in the House and the Senate up here. We all understand the world is watching all of us today. So here's my message to those beyond our borders. America has been tested, and we've come out stronger for it. We will repair our alliances and engage with the world once again, not to meet yesterday's challenges, but today's and tomorrow's challenges. And we'll lead not merely by the example of our power, but by the power of our example.
I mean, you could also, like...
We'll be a strong and trusted partner for peace.
I mean, do something about the military-industrial complex.
Look, you all know we've been through so much in this nation. In my first act as president, I'd like to ask you to join me in a moment of silent prayer. Remember all of those who we lost in this past year to the pandemic. Those 400,000 fellow Americans, moms, dads, husbands, wives, sons, daughters, friends, neighbors, and co-workers. We'll honor them for becoming the people and the nation we know we can and should be. So I ask you, let's say a silent prayer for those who've lost their lives and those left behind in our country.
I mean, I'm not one for prayer, but yeah, it is sad that 400,000 people, most of which were unnecessary deaths.
This is a time of testing. We face an attack on our democracy and on truth, a raging virus, growing inequity, the sting of systemic racism, a climate in crisis, America's role in the world. Any one of these would be enough to challenge us in profound ways. But the fact is, we face them all at once, presenting this nation with one of the gravest responsibilities we've had. Now we're going to be tested. Are we going to step up, all of us? It's time for boldness, for there's so much to do. And this is certain. I promise you, we will be judged, you and I, by how we resolve these cascading crises of our era. We will rise to the occasion is the question. Will we master this rare and difficult hour? Will we meet our obligations and pass along a new and better world to our children? I believe we must. I'm sure you do as well. I believe we will. And when we do, we'll write the next great chapter in the history of the United States of America, the American story. A story that might sound something like a song that means a lot to me. It's called American Anthem. There's one verse that stands out, at least for me, and it goes like this. The work and prayers of century have brought us to this day. What shall be our legacy? What will our children say? Let me know in my heart when my days are through. America, America.
Fuck yeah.
To you. Let's us add our own work and prayers to the unfolding story of our great nation. If we do this, then when our days are through, our children and our children's children will say of us, they gave their best, they did their duty, they healed a broken land. My fellow Americans, I close the day where I began, with the sacred oath. Before God and all of you, I give you my word. I will always level with you. I will defend the Constitution. I'll defend our democracy. I'll defend America. And I'll give all of you, keep everything I do in your service, thinking not of power, but of possibilities, not of personal interest, but the public good. And together, we shall write an American story of hope, not fear, of unity, not division, of light, not darkness, a story of decency and dignity, love and healing, greatness and goodness. May this be the story that guides us, the story that inspires us, and the story that tells ages yet to come that we answered the call of history. We met the moment. Democracy and hope, truth and justice did not die on our watch but thrived. That America secured liberty at home and stood once again as a beacon to the world. That is what we owe our forebears, one another, and generation to follow. So, with purpose and resolve, we turn to those tasks of our time, sustained by faith, driven by conviction, and devoted to one another and the country we love with all our hearts. May God bless America, and may God protect our troops. Thank you, America.
Fuck yeah!
I mean, not a fan of the
how does
God
that
protecting our
the history of
troops
the noble
thing.
speech with it?
It was an alright speech.
Yeah, I would have much preferred to hear him talk about. I would have much preferred to hear him talk about
pizza,
upholding the Constitution, as opposed to defending it.
Well, he did that. You were talking about pizza while he was doing that.
But I mean, also, like, this has definitely been a time of the Constitution being under attack. So I understand the reasoning why, at the very least on an emotional level, it's good to say defending. And to some degree, speeches are
who's this?
About giving a good feeling.
Garth Brooks?
Oh, well, Achy Breaky Art, Garth Brooks.
Wait,
I would think so.
Oh, yeah, I forgot it. Oh, yeah, of course.
Yes. Though that is not original to him, but I'm sure he does that.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I was lost, but now
So I've heard.
I found. Was blind, but now
this is.
I see.
I still feel like there's only a handful of songs.
We've been there.
Well, the lyrics to the theme from Gilligan's Island fit this song, and vice versa.
It's Stairway to Heaven too.
I mean, that's to some degree because of lyrical construction.
That's a serious thunderbolt.
A serious what? Oh, the medals. Yeah.
We first if I can ask you to sing this last verse with me, not just the people here, but the people at home, at work.
Come on in, Christy.
God damn it.
You're
that's
the
a
professional musician.
Amazing grace, how sweet.
I'm torn because I do like the idea of singing.
A wretch like me.
At the same time, I wasn't expecting this. Should have asked me this beforehand. Maybe I could have prepared.
Yeah.
Was blind, but now I see.
But yeah, no, it's. I mean, the real thing when it comes to speeches is yeah, there's some impact to speeches, but the important
Garth
thing is
Brooks
what they
just managed
do
to-
afterwards.
Yes. Yes.
Well,
Garth Brooks just managed to define that what Joe Biden was talking about when he said all Americans is Christians.
No.
I don't remember hearing Biden say all America's Christian.
Yeah.
You're reminded of President Obama's singing that same song at the
Yeah, Ozma, get out of America.
Church. A song that
I'm
in
not
our
paid
culture
enough.
is both poetry and prayer as you could possibly come. And we're going to finish with those two things. Let me introduce Amanda Gorman, our nation's first ever National Poet Laureate.
Well, are you serious, brother? He said that. I don't recall him saying that.
Wait, when did he say that?
When did who say what?
Well, according to Perfict, Biden said that America was Christian.
No, he didn't.
No, I don't think he would say that.
That isn't what I said at all.
Mr. President,
Well, so was it you
Dr.
said that?
Biden, Madam Vice President, Mr. Emhoff,
Perfect.
Americans
What was it you said?
and the world. When day comes, we ask
I
ourselves,
can straighten that up in a minute.
light in this never-ending shade. The loss we carry, a sea we must wade. We've braved the belly of the beast. We've learned that quiet isn't always peace. In the norms and notions of what just isn't always just is. And yet the dawn is ours before we knew it. Somehow we do it. Somehow we've weathered and witnessed a nation that isn't broken, but simply unfinished. We, the successors of a country and a time where a skinny black girl descended from slaves and raised by a single mother can dream of becoming president, only to find herself reciting for one. And yes, we are far from polished, far from pristine, but that doesn't mean we are striving to form a union that is perfect. We are striving to forge our union with purpose, to compose a country committed to all cultures, colors, characters, and conditions of man.
Sorry,
and
what?
so we lift our gaze not to what stands between us, but what stands before us. We close the divide because we know to put our future first, we must first put our differences aside. We lay down our arms so we can reach out our arms to one another. We seek harm to none and harmony for all. Let the globe, if nothing else, say this is true. That even as we grieved, we grew, that even as we hurt, we hoped, that even as we tired, we tried, that we'll forever be tied together, victorious, not because we will never again know defeat, but because we will never again sow division.
I do wank poetry, so
Scripture tells
I
us
got the best of both.
that everyone shall sit under the only vine and fig tree, and no one shall make them
That
afraid.
line about if you get a
If we're to live up to our own time, then victory won't lie in the blade, but in all the bridges we've made.
There's a similar joke about poetry.
Is the promised glade, the hill we climb, if only we dare it, because being American is more than a pride we inherit. It's the past we step into and how we repair it. We've seen a force that would shatter our nation rather than share it, would destroy our country if it meant delaying democracy. And this effort very nearly succeeded. But while democracy can be periodically delayed, it can never be permanently defeated. In this truth, in this faith we trust, for while we have our eyes on the future, history has its eyes on us. This is the era of just redemption. We feared it at its inception. We did not feel prepared to be the heirs of such a terrifying hour, but within it we found the power to author a new chapter, to offer hope and laughter to ourselves. So, while once we asked, how could we possibly prevail over catastrophe? Now we assert, how could catastrophe possibly prevail over us? We will not march back to what was, but move to what shall be, a country that is bruised but whole, benevolent but bold, fierce and free. We will not be turned around or interrupted by intimidation, because we know our inaction and inertia will be the inheritance of the next generation. Our blunders become their burdens, but one thing is certain. If we merge mercy with might and might with right, then love becomes our legacy and change our children's birthright. So let us leave behind a country better than the one we were left. With every breath from my bronze-pounded chest, we will raise this wounded world into a wondrous one. We will rise from the gold-limbed hills of the west. We will rise from the wind-swept northeast, where our forefathers first realized revolution. We will rise from the lake-rimmed cities of the Midwestern states. We will rise from the sun-baked south. We will rebuild, reconcile, and recover in every known nook of our nation, in every corner called our country. Our people, diverse and beautiful, will emerge battered and beautiful. When day comes, we step out of the shade, aflame and unafraid. The new dawn blooms as we free it. For there is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it.
That was a good, that was a good poem. I'm not gonna lie. That was actually a good poem.
Yes. Need to get her onto the speech writing crew.
I mean, that said, I mean, obviously
Thank you, Amanda Gorman. For benediction, I'm pleased.
Interrupted only a few times by my fan going wild.
I mean, the fact of the matter is,
30 years.
How many
we have our cultures.
You know, I mean, if you what you need to pray to God again because God's deaf.
What?
What?
Well, he's saying another prayer. There was a prayer at the beginning one, remember? Now there's another. This dude.
There's too many prayers.
And people of faith gathered in this historical moment.
And I'm just saying, how many prayers do you have to have? You know, is God deaf?
God.
Well, I mean,
there's usually one at the beginning and one at the end.
A smile.
Oh, is there?
Yes.
And the point I am making,
Ozma, you've never watched an inauguration before.
Well, because I didn't like.
I'm being facetious.
I didn't care about them because I was already jaded. I was born jaded.
That you would extend the same favor upon our Vice President, Harris. And our second.
What I was pointing out was that Garth Brooks managed to reframe
more than ever
that when Biden had said all Americans, that what he meant was Christians.
We discover
talking about Garth Brooks reframing. Gotcha.
Our common humanity. We will seek
out Garth Brooks had managed to reframe
their wounds.
The commentary to that led into him.
And diseased.
Yes.
We'll mourn our dead.
We
will befriend the lonely, the least, and the left out. We will share our abundance with those who are hungry.
Can't remember what the name.
And now you pitch back to
acknowledge sin.
The prayer out.
thus grasping for conciliation.
Yeah.
And discovering
you're saying
with
our
prayers,
Christian nation.
in and for
oftentimes with these, it's very much words said, but not actions taken.
Remove the stigma of the
People
so-called
talk about how we need to help the poor in church, and then they say that if you don't work, you're not trying hard enough.
Beyond correction,
we'll
extend opportunity to those locked out of opportunity. We will make friends
trying to
of our
frame
enemies.
that America's
We will make
Christian
friends
nation is basically saying fuck you to people
of our
like
enemies.
Ozma.
People,
I
no
do not
raise
agree
their
with what
weapons
you're
against one
saying
another.
here.
We will rather use our resources for the national good and become a beacon of life and goodwill to the world. And neither shall
I don't
we
agree
learn
with them
hatred
doing this,
anymore.
but that's not what they're doing.
Lie down in peace and not make our neighbors afraid.
You see, the problem is,
in you, oh God,
if you say like
we
one
discover
nation
our
is one
humanity.
nation is Christian, but
In
what
our
you're doing
humanity,
is
we
you're holding
discover
up
our
Christians
commonness.
as a higher
Beyond the difference of color,
religious
creed,
group
origin,
than
political party,
other
ideology, geography, and personal
And America
preference.
was supposedly founded on freedom
We'll
of religion.
become greater stewards of your environment.
Yes.
Why am I teaching you your own history?
Preserving the land.
You're not.
Reaping from it a sustainable
I'm telling my
harvest.
grandma to suck eggs.
Christianity just culturally gets seen as the default.
For generations to come.
Christianity,
This
white,
is
cis,
our
straight,
benediction.
these are seen as
From
what you're expected to
hallowed
be
ground,
unless you provide information
where
to
slaves
suggest
labored
that
to
you're not.
build this shrine.
Hey,
and
Garth Brooks said trans rights are human rights back in 2012. I'm
acknowledge
happy enough with him.
from the indigenous Native
Well,
Americans.
well, I mean, it's not the worst person.
Those who recently
No,
received
that could make you pretty happy with
from
somebody.
the
Yeah.
African Americans, those whose
Yeah.
foreparents came
No.
from Europe and every corner of the globe.
He got
It just made
in a
an
lot of
inadvisable
Those struggling to make
he
it.
got in a lot of shit for
Human being,
being
regardless of their
pro
choices.
LGBTQ
This is our
in the
punishment.
country, and until Dolly Parton backed him up, you know.
As such, teach
Yeah,
us
God, he's a long time
to
being
live
an
in
ally of the LGBTQ.
love in it, be healed in it,
And we love her for
and
it.
reconcile to one another in it.
I mean, the thing
Let's
about
witness kingdom's goal. To your glory, majesty, dominion, and power.
artists are more likely to work with and befriend people of
Hallelujah.
marginalized groups, making
Glory, hallelujah.
it easy
The
for
strong name of our collective faith.
Hallelujah.
to
Hallelujah.
want
Sorry.
to actually have
Outstanding as the Armed Forces Color Guard
a
retires
human
our
being,
national colors.
or see everyone as human beings.
Yeah, but
The best version of Hallelujah wasn't Leonard Cohen from now, it was Jeff Buckley.
Leonard Cohen wrote Hallelujah. Yes, they sang that last night. You didn't watch that speech, I'm sure.
Yes, but Jeff Buckley did the better version.
I don't care. It's a terrible song.
This song is also a terrible song, I will say.
I'm going to go out on a limb and saying that Hallelujah is one of Leonard Cohen's weakest songs.
This is
If not of his quote unquote hits, it's definitely the
Ladies
worst.
and gentlemen, please be seated and remain in your seats while the president.
Well,
and
I
officials
am
take the
seated.
platform. For safety reasons, your ushers will release your section in an organized manner. Following the playing of our national march, the Stars and Stripes Forever.
We will be playing it forever.
Okay, well that's enough of that bollocks. Right, okay. So, what do we all think about that?
So, in general, when the when it comes to this, it's very much a lot of this is a formal affair, and you know, it's important that we did this live in case Trump did actually have something up his sleeve, which outside of running away, which is generally the assumed thing. But look, if this was a movie, Biden would have said nice things and gotten assassinated. But this is not a movie. This is actually the real world, where stuff like that doesn't happen or hasn't happened in a long time, because the Secret Service has actually started to get good at their job after the 60s.
I tuned in and watched Trump get on the helicopter, fly to the airport, get on the give his speech in which he told a huge string of lies, and then get on the plane.
I was about to say. I said, because I was watching the CNN, not CNN, NBC newsfeed, right? And I said, I hope they got a fact check of all the shit he's saying.
I actually missed it. I missed it sort of on purpose, sort of not, because I kind of I can breathe again. This is nice.
Yeah.
I mean.
No, the trans community in America has had the sort of Damocles hanging over their head for 4 years.
Well, yeah, you would look if Trump had won, you were looking at LGBTQ people possibly having to wear pink triangles in public,
Yeah.
Well, we'd have to have it. We would have to have it on any sort of identification, and they could always ask for the identification. I'm sure.
I mean, you're not actually far off, though. I mean, it sounds like hyperbole, but it's not far off.
No, he wanted it on he wanted it on ID. Trump wanted to have, if you're trans or on the on whatever identification that you had, so it would be right there.
Yeah, well, that's the simple, easy, normal solution, wouldn't it be? Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I do actually have a couple of trans stories to bring up.
I wanna say one more thing. On one hand, though, I don't think I would. I don't know that I would have come out if Trump wasn't president. I couldn't, handle all that and still handle, fighting for rights at the same time. It was I had to get rid of that bit of fighting with myself first.
Yeah, no.
Are you trying to sell me on some good came out of this?
I've actually talked to a bunch of late bloom transgender people that this is actually a big factor in how and why they came out.
Are you talking about the Trump administration in general, or?
No.
Yeah. Well, the ultimate thing is, when things get bad, you can oftentimes see how things really are.
Yeah.
I'm not sure the Black Lives Matter protests would have gotten as much viewership under as another administration. But then again, I'm not sure. It's hard to say for certain with a lot of things, but nothing has changed, and that's upsetting when it comes to
it's not under many administrations. Not under many administrations would you send out unmarked vehicles carrying military personnel with no badging to abduct people on the street.
Yeah.
During the protests. That's sort of a unique signature of fascism.
Yeah.
Just a smidge. He's just a little bit fascist. Not even a little bit rock and roll. That's for us old people.
What, fascists doing rock and roll or fascists?
No, a little bit fascist. A little bit fascist. A little bit rock and roll.
No, it's
don't even come close to expecting you to understand the reference.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I've already given up on that. What I was gonna say is, yeah, when it comes to things, I don't. When it comes to a lot of Democratic presidents, and it's very due to neoliberalism. It's very clear that things need to be fought for extra hard, no matter who is president, and there often while there is some social change that's beneficial, and honestly, Biden might do more good than Obama ever did. When it comes to
no, Obama did support gay marriage, so
yeah, but Biden
after Biden did first. So
I'm not so sure that wasn't planned to be just that way.
I'm absolutely sure it was not planned.
Yeah, the thing is, it became popular enough for them, the Democratic Party, to support that particular social change. I just mean the fact that Biden is trying to up the minimum wage at all significantly is more than I felt like.
Okay.
Okie dokie. So, all right, folks.
And Biden's definitely going to backtrack on the LGBT rights, or bring things back to where they are. Although the Supreme Court did knock down some of the attempts to destroy the.
Okay, I got a few.
Okay, they put a moratorium on cost of living increases on the minimum wage and things like that, which affects other wages, since the 70s. Literally, they have not been doing it, and the economy has been set up to be churning that money. It goes into the top 10%.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Biden,
so all of those cost of living increases have been fed to the top 10% for 50 years.
Yeah. And this is why the minimum wage should be $25 an hour.
Right. He's been going to increase it, but, really, yes. If you look at what it should be, you're like, holy crap.
Well, he's going to increase it, which is still more than what Obama did, is what I'm saying. I'm saying that Biden is going to do more. There's a lot more that needs to be done, is what I'm saying. I'm saying that we should praise that he's putting in some effort and fight for more effort.
And Perfict, Biden should have been a bit louder about increasing the minimum wage, because he would have won Florida.
No, he wouldn't have won Florida, but Florida is a weird case.
Well, right. So Florida, there was a ballot initiative to raise the minimum wage to $15.
Yes.
Which is part of Biden's platform, but they weren't very loud about it in Florida.
Yes, they were. They were very loud about it in Florida. Well, so everybody went, okay, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Let's do that and still keep our Republicans.
The other thing that made me laugh was that we were told, we have to have Biden because otherwise Bernie will get called a commie by Florida man. And it's like, well, Florida man's calling Biden a commie.
They've been calling every Democratic president outside of maybe Clinton. But
they were calling him a commie.
Oh, they were?
Yeah, they were.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. But yeah,
Anyway,
since the 60s or something.
I've got a few news stories. So, what happened 4 years ago today, other than Trump getting inaugurated? This.
Nazis don't love me. They kind of hate me, actually.
KKK, neo-Nazi.
Those people don't like me,
Are you
to be
like
honest.
the hipster version of the neo-Nazi movement?
It's Pepe's become kind of a symbol.
Oh. Yeah, that's right. Didn't hear much from Richard Spencer after that, did you?
No, you did.
Well, you did, actually. Let me explain something.
Richard Spencer did, got, a fuck ton more visibility until
there's
past couple years, maybe?
Okay, let me explain something to you. Fascists like to appear strong, right? So if they get humiliated like Spencer did then, it's not good for them, right? And as it goes,
okay, you got a weird idea what a humiliation is.
I mean, the thing about the fact of the matter is that didn't stop anyone. Trump not being able to get down a ramp didn't stop far-right people from painting him like some sort of Greek god.
Yeah, and despite the fact that footage played over and over again, where he's very clearly a 70-something-year-old man trying to get down a ramp that's a little too steep for him, and his shoes aren't sticking to it well.
Well, that's partially because doesn't he wear high-rise shoes to try to appear taller?
Yeah.
Did you hear the cassette boy? Did you hear Trump versus cassette boy?
Trump versus cassette boy?
Trump versus
the set boy.
Republicans are red, Democrats are blue. I'm Donald Trump, and I'm fucking off soon. The White House will have a new president. You know it's true. I've been mad without precedent. It's sad because my madness is evident, and the coronavirus endorsed me for president. Trump is going to win, and you're going to lose. But that turned out to be fake news because I've left the country broken and tired. The American people told me you're fired. Wow. I've been shown the door. I'm a loser. Maybe Joe Biden has killed me. Wow. I've been shown the door.
Right. You see that photo there, right? You know that's when he came back from the Tulsa rally.
By the way, it wouldn't be
okay.
Sorry?
Oh, it wouldn't be bad to I mean, that does seem to be a well put together video, by the way. By
he does things. The best one is Tory Rap. We just took the piss out of David Cameron. That's
anyway. Sorry.
But anyway,
so stop interrupting each other.
Sorry. You all right, Christy?
Yeah.
Right. Cool. You see that photo there, right? That reminds me of something very specific from the 1980s. But just look how, disconsolate he looks, right?
Sorry, I'm just looking at the fucking.
That reminds me of this car advert from the 1980s.
This is the man who put 1 million on black, and it came up red. This is the man who married a sex kitten, just as she turned into a cat. This is the man who moved into gold, just as the clever money moved out. This is the man who drives a Volkswagen.
It's a famous car advert from the 1980s. But basically, when I saw Trump, I saw that photo of Trump getting out of the helicopter looking also disconsolate. You know, I just thought, oh god, that's like the VW of the 1980s. Anyways, bit of a reverence there. Okay, so this is fresh off the press. Kamala Harris's new profile.
Yay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She got her she put her pronouns in too. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, she already did. She already had them.
Yeah, she's had them in for like months. She's had the pronouns in her bio.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Right. Don't know.
Yeah. Well.
Now
I'm still into the gender neutral pronouns. Coming up with something that's gender neutral.
We'll skim through this. It's quite long, but we can skim through the highlights. President Joe Biden's campaign promises what we can expect to see. Yeah, I mean, he's gonna do quite a lot, I think, for reinstating LGBTQ rights.
Yeah.
This is from Planet Transgender, so this is specific to trans people. Biden administration promises to ensure women's issues remain at the forefront of policy efforts. Good to hear. Better than having a president pussy grabber, isn't it? By the way, talking of that, do any of you remember when Theresa May visited the White House when she was Prime Minister?
Vaguely.
Yeah, and he held hands with her. It was fucking cringeworthy for us in Britain. And, well, today she wrote a piece, I think it was in the Mail or the Express, where she had a real dig at Boris Johnson, her successor. And this reminded me to explain to all of you. Basically, in some ways, though Theresa May was pretty fucking terrible as Prime Minister, I kind of wish to have her back for you know, if we're going to have a Conservative Prime Minister, because essentially, when David Cameron took over the leadership of the Tory party in 2005, he decided that, and he was the first Tory leader to do this, that the Conservatives had lost the culture war, right? And that it was time to embrace social liberalism, so embrace LGBT things like LGBTQ rights, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when he went, obviously Theresa May took over, and she was of the same mind, okay? Now Boris is in charge. Though Boris is meant to be a libertarian, he is surrounding himself by all sorts of, you know, hard right whack jobs. And we are seeing the unraveling of LGBTQ rights. You know, we're going the same way, not to the same extent. We're going in a similar direction as America went under Trump, but not to the same extent. So anyways, she had a real dig at him today, because basically she felt that Boris had been too much in the mold of Trump. I mean, it was hilarious that PMQs that Boris Johnson sort of said he welcomed Joe Biden to be president as president. Obviously doing the diplomatic thing, I know, but when he's molded himself being the pound shop,
well,
Donald Trump. Anyways,
Boris Johnson is Trump light.
Well, yeah, as I said, that's what I meant. Pound shop Trump. Reaffirmed that civil rights, the Civil Rights Act prohibits employment discrimination based on sexual orientation and gender identity.
The Supreme Court already decided that.
I was about to say, I thought that might be the case. Support transgender and non-binary people in the workforce, and there's some news on that actually. That was the other story I've got up. Stop employment discrimination in the federal government. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a problem.
I remember I went through with Eddie Clark. This is why I felt that, you know, you were verging on what if Trump had won, that LGBTQ people would have to wear pink triangles, because LGBT people were being encouraged in the who work for the federal government not to be seen to be overtly LGBTQ.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Treat LGBTQ service members and veterans with the respect they deserve. Yes, damn right.
Trans military ban, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one of the first things he's going to, one of the first executive orders he's going to sign, isn't it? To overturn the ban on.
Yeah, because I mean, the military was against the trans ban.
Yeah.
And they delayed it as long as they could.
Yeah,
so
they did.
Okay, stop scrolling, please.
Sorry. What?
I'm sorry. It's blurring on my screen, and it's actually hard to see.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Oh, shit! I don't want to see. All right. And
yeah.
Here we
and
are.
rock star Rachel Levine.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, I knew who she was a long time before I knew she was trans. So.
You know everybody.
Well, I pay attention. Actually, I saw her on Adam Ruins Everything a few years ago.
Wasn't she the head of Pennsylvania Health Department?
Well, it just says tap Pennsylvania Health Secretary.
It says it there.
right in the first sentence there.
Read the fucking article, Sophia.
Yeah, so pediatrician, former Pennsylvania physician general, Levine was appointed. Which, I mean, ideally, this is a good thing. This seems like a good thing.
Well, I got dropped by my one doctor during that very brief period of time when he could.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean that's all going to stop now, but Biden. Well, let's hope so. I mean, at least he'll bring in laws to stop discrimination, but obviously it has to be policed.
Yeah, but I mean, like when it comes to a lot of this stuff, it does help that, you know, this is also the first time in far too long that there's been a decent number of Democrats in the Senate.
Yeah,
and that makes difference both in what sort of laws the Biden will try to get passed and what sort of laws can be passed, because I feel like the Democratic Party tries to play it safe because they want a lot of the time because they want it to get past the they want to get the laws passed by the Senate. So to do that, they feel like they need to work with Republicans more, and not to say that Biden won't try to be soft in terms of what he will try to get done, but it'll probably be a little bit more slightly more overtly trying to do the right thing than usual.
Well, damn with faint praise, will you?
Though the Democrats now have control of both houses of Congress, what worries me, is at the midterms next year there'll be a backlash, and the Republicans only need to flip 6 seats in the House of Representatives to gain control. Now, however, news on that front is that Trump is possibly going to be setting up his own party. There's a lot of talk about as I said, I think I mentioned earlier, the Patriot Party. As far as I'm concerned, go right ahead, Donald, because that they'll split the vote on the right, and they'll keep Democrats in power for years to come.
Well, I don't think it's going to succeed as a party. I mean, it depends on if Trump is actually if Trump is actually running away from America, which I don't know that he is or isn't. I don't know with Trump. He never makes good decisions.
Well, he's dropped hints that, well, this is the last we've seen of him. Now, okay, we know Trump's, but, it's bullshit. But there is serious talk that he's thinking about setting up some sort of alternative Twitter. I could see an alternative party being formed. Mainly I think it's more likely now because, I mean, people like Mitch McConnell, Mitch McConnell has stepped up his attacks on Donald Trump, to my surprise.
Yes. And to steal a line from Firesign Theater, to rephrase a line from Firesign Theater, you haven't seen the last of me. Yeah, but the first of you turns my stomach.
But
since the election, Trump has garnered over $125 million in contributions, just of the type that he can spend at his own discretion. He can use them to pay his own bills. He can spend them however he likes. That's just of that type. That's since he lost the election. Mm-hmm. He's been garnering this money. As long as he can be saying, I might run again, he can continue to get that money. And that's enormously valuable to him because right now he is no longer president, meaning that people can come to collect on bills. And he's got as personal loans of the type that you can't dispel through bankruptcy or anything else.
Yeah.
Over 400 million out in those. Okay. With those and the IRS, which is similar. Between the IRS and his personal loans, 400 million, which he beyond what he has. That's over what he has in assets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if he sold everything and tried to pay off his debts, that's where he'd be. But he has this money that he can use to finance himself, which they can't actually touch. They can't tap it. The IRS can't tap it. No one can touch it.
So what you're saying is he's got enough money to afford jet services to Russia.
Yeah.
Is Aeroflot still running?
Nicole Sturgeon has told him he ain't welcome in Scotland. So
I'm just saying he's not going to give that up. He's going to continue to play the politics game and try and do something in politics. So he's going to set up a political coalition, which will be sponsoring other candidates, because he can use that to get money that he can use for his personal self in personal ways that can't be touched by the IRS or the Russian oligarchs who he owes money. He owes some people money who he owes mob people money.
Well, if he owes mob people money, if he owes mob people money, I don't know if he's done for this world.
I mean, then he might not.
He might soon be swimming with the fishes, Anyways, one thing I want to bring up about Biden, I've been consistent about this, and I want to remind people. So, I think Biden will be good for LGBTQ rights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think he'll be good in that respect when it comes to social justice. However, I don't know if he'll deliver the economic justice thing. It's all very well having rights, but if you can't afford to exercise those rights, what use of those?
Yeah, I know that's that's why I was saying that even if Biden just raises the minimum wage, he's done more for the economic justice of poor people than Obama ever did.
Well, yeah.
And
anyway, so that's
so and while it won't, that alone won't be enough to help secure people. They need to make it easier to acquire affordable housing. They need to make it a lot easier to get into a lot of the programs that help keep people alive or put people in a position where they can live even if they have a shit job, because if people are in a position where they can live, they're in a better position to unionize, and therefore they're in a better position to survive and get like anywhere close to a decent wage. But there's a lot of social policies that still need to be fought for. But Biden is a good first step.
Yeah, I mean it's like what I had someone say yesterday. He's not going to introduce the Green New Deal, but he's going to sign America. He's going to have America sign back up to the Paris Accords, and he's going to kill the Keystone Pipeline. He's moving in the right direction.
Yeah, he is willing to do the things that are necessary to keep this planet alive, but also keep people alive. I just think that some things might need to be fought for. A fair amount of things still need to be fought for, but some things Biden might actually do. Even if he said he wasn't going to do, he might actually do. Or it might be the other way around. I don't know. Biden is his own person as a president, and while his speech was about making the world better for people's children and children's children, I don't know the degree to which he will act on that. And that's not to say, like I said, still a huge fucking improvement over a fascist.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm just right now. It's just a huge relief. That's the biggest thing. It's the wave of relief I'm feeling at the moment.
Well, I mean, I felt that more so during the election, and I don't know. I didn't think. I mean, June 6th was nerve-wracking, but once they fucked up, I tentatively thought they fucked up for good. In one way or another.
It's funny, actually, talking about the election. I went back and watched a video you and I did the day after the election.
Oh.
And I just looked like a complete and utter zombie.
I look close to a zombie currently, as close as I get to zombie. I've had sleep issues and chores piled up, and sleep issues make me extra hypersensitive to sound. So, like, the fact that my roommates still work at home is just grating when I'm trying to do a chore and I hear... I mean, admittedly, Savaris has sleep issues too, so that doesn't help because he's a night person.
Yes.
Well, anyways,
Was
so
there coffee on?
So, Perfict, what do you think about the Biden inauguration and the future?
Well, I mean, it was really nice that our Capitol wasn't attacked during the inauguration.
Yeah,
that's true.
That was nice, wasn't it? That was nice. Yeah. Full for the Proud Boys not to attack. I might have something to do with the fact there was 25,000 National Guard. It's funny how fascists aren't so keen on causing violence when you have a bunch of trained soldiers to fend them off, isn't it?
Yeah, that's one of those things. Yeah. And that. I mean, that was nice. It was nice, and they had good weather. They had good weather, and no attacks. So.
And Lady Gaga looked lovely.
Yeah.
Oh,
and Jennifer Lopez.
And the singers did a good job singing.
And I noticed that they'd actually cleaned the Capitol building. It looked whiter today.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they were cleaning the podium after each speaker. That person was clearly disinfecting the podium to try to help prevent people from getting sick. Although some of the people who were up near the podium did not have a lot of social distancing available, which was unfortunate.
Well,
yeah.
The smart move. One of the things that because I played a show the night before Buffalo lockdown. We change mics every act. I mean, completely change mics.
It rained during Trump's inauguration.
I have to go for a comfort break. Sorry.
Oh, I have to go too. So.
Oh well, if everyone has to go, we might just have to.
I think yeah.
Well, I need to
call an end.
Well, I need to talk to you, Christy, and Ozma about something.
Well, afterwards, are you
yes.
saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Meantime, whoever you are, you survived the Trump administration.
Well, look, let me go.
So congratulations on that.
Okay. So can we wrap this? Sorry, can we wrap this up so I can go for a piss?
Yep.
Right. Perfect. Where can people find you, mate?
Same place as always. They can find me at the Rumpus Room on Discord and here.
Okay. Christy?
Chris Abbey Music. That's Chris, the same as down there, but without the TY. And Christy Abbey, my main channel. I put up a video last night, so.
Oh, I'll go and watch that.
Yeah. And at Normality Quake on Twitter. That's all I have to promote. I have lots of other channels, but.
Ozma?
Okay, OzmaTheDark.com. At Talking to Nothing on Twitter. That's Talking to Nothing minus the G. Ozma the Dark on YouTube, Twitch. I do the flute voice weekly, and you can see me on LGBTQ Rants. Christy is also on the flute voice weekly every Sunday at 8
Boy, you
PM
tell people
Eastern.
they can go to the bathroom after they get this done, and they just rattle it right off.
Well, look, I needed to do it quickly. So, yeah, that's it.
All right.
Okay, I'll be back. Bye.
Okay.
Wait,
peace.
Sophia. Okay. Should I just switch now?
Oh, thanks. I didn't get to plug my stuff.
Yeah. Let Sophia plug her stuff.
Sophia.
Yeah. Well, I have started a new YouTube show. So Sophia Botha. It's youtube.com/Sophia Botha. Sophia Christina Botha. I don't even know my fucking name. But the easiest way to sort of find out what I'm doing is on Twitter at Sophia Botha74. So until the next time, we will be back in some shape and form in the very near future. Until then, stay safe. Peace out. I need to go for a piss.
Bye.
Same like.